I don't care what rumors you've been hearing, buckle up, because we're about to dive into a pivotal issue that could decide whether the Kansas City Chiefs dominate the season or collapse under pressure. This entire season hinges on one critical factor: protecting the franchise quarterback Patrick Mahomes. We're talking about the offensive line, the very foundation that's supposed to keep him upright and firing. Last season, they fell short. But now, changes are in motion and the pressure is sky high for this offense to rise to the occasion. Smash that like button if you believe the Chiefs are making a comeback. Drop a W in the comments if you're all in, or an L if you think the glory days are behind them. Subscribe for the inside edge on everything Chiefs, because what's coming next, you won't want to miss. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, let's get real. This isn't just another offseason update. This could be the make or break factor in Kansas City's chase for another Lombardi. There's a glaring weakness that's been exposed, and if you've been paying attention, you already know what it is: the offensive line. Now, before you say, didn't they make some offseason upgrades? Yes, they did. But here's the brutal truth. It's still the no one obstacle standing between this team and another Super Bowl run. Let's rewind. Patrick Mahomes, the face of the franchise, the miracle maker, the MVP caliber leader, took more hits last season than at any point in his career. That's right, more sacks, more pressure, more punishment. And we all know, if you don't protect your elite QB, you're asking for disaster. It's like trying to race a Ferrari through a demolition derby. Pure recklessness. And the ground game, virtually non-existent. The line couldn't create lanes. Backs were stonewalled at the line of scrimmage. This isn't just about easing Mahomes' burden. It's about the survival of the entire offense. Now, to their credit, the Chiefs didn't just stand still. They went out, made strategic signings, and tried to reinforce the trenches. But is it enough? One name to watch: Jalen Moore, with experience backing up Trent Williams. He brings potential, but the real challenge is this: can this group gel into a cohesive, impenetrable unit? Because that's what it takes. Great offensive lines don't just block, they move as one. They're the unsung heroes of championship seasons. A unified front that protects, creates, and dominates. Mahomes knows this. He's made magic despite the chaos around him. But even he admits, it's all about consistency. The Super Bowl left a bitter taste, and unless this line steps up, that bitterness will linger. Now, here's where things get serious. The offensive line isn't just being asked to do their job. They're being asked to build a fortress around the NFL's most valuable. The expectations? Massive. The pressure? Relentless. But you don't have to take my word for it. Listen to the players. They know what's at stake. We want to solidify the group, they say, and training camp is where it begins. The competition is brutal. Only the best 5 will survive. But this group isn't new to adversity. They've stepped up in big moments before. Now, with another year of chemistry, they must become the wall Mahomes needs. And here's the kicker: if the Chiefs can even slightly improve their pass protection, the possibilities are endless. The passing game opens wide. Mahomes finds more time. Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, and the rest of the receiving core, more space, more targets, more touchdowns. And don't forget the run game. Once that line starts clicking, the backs explode. This offense could transform into an unstoppable machine. Let me be blunt. Chiefs fans have been spoiled. They've witnessed greatness, seen comebacks, and celebrated titles. But if this line holds strong, this year's version of Kansas City could be the most explosive offense we've ever seen. So stay locked in, because something big is brewing in Kansas City. They're not about to settle for mediocrity. You can't expect to win consistently when your franchise quarterback is getting slammed every other snap. That's exactly why the offensive line isn't just important, it's the lifeline of the entire season. If this unit can get it together, there's absolutely no reason the Chiefs won't be right back in the hunt for another Lombardi trophy. But if they don't, we could be staring down another early playoff exit and a season filled with what-ifs. This offensive line needs to show up, and show up now. No more excuses, no more delays. It's time to live up to the hype, protect the kingdom's crown jewel, and prove they can keep Mahomes clean. Because without protection, nothing else matters. This line needs to step up, lock in, and ensure that Mahomes has the time to do what he was born to do, win football games. This is the year where the Chiefs must prove they're not just a team with stars, they're a team of champions. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, strap in. Because what we're about to break down might just be the most crucial element of Kansas City's Super Bowl hopes. The offensive line. This isn't about rotating players or grabbing a few big-name free agents. This is about fortifying the trenches to give Patrick Mahomes the protection he needs to perform like the MVP and future Hall of Famer that he is. This team has enormous potential, but the ceiling is only as high as the foundation is solid. And right now, the entire season rides on this line's ability to rise to the challenge. Let's be clear, if they don't, disappointment is inevitable. You're talking about a quarterback unlike any we've ever seen, but even Mahomes can't create miracles when he's constantly dodging defenders and running for his life. That's exactly what we saw last season, and that's why the Chiefs prioritized the offensive line in the offseason. But here's the truth. Signing a couple of names and crossing your fingers isn't enough. This isn't about patchwork. This is about unity, chemistry, cohesion. This line must move as one, and they must do it now. Jalen Moore? Sure, he's a key piece. But this isn't just about one player stepping up. This is about the entire line elevating, from starters to second stringers. Because, let's not forget, injuries happen. You can't bank on a healthy starting five all season. That's why depth is non-negotiable. The Chiefs aren't just building a front line, they're building a fortress with reinforcements. And now, let's zoom out. Because this isn't just about Mahomes. If this line holds, everything changes. The run game, which struggled to find its footing last year, suddenly comes alive. You create lanes, you dominate time of possession, you keep defenses guessing, and when that happens, the Chiefs' offense becomes a multi-dimensional weapon, lethal through the air and on the ground. When Mahomes is protected, he becomes unstoppable. That's when we see the jaw-dropping, no-look off-script, 50-yard lasers that break the internet. That's when defenses collapse under pressure, not Mahomes. So let's make this simple. Protect Mahomes, unlock the offense, chase greatness. It starts with the offensive line, and it starts now. You either protect Patrick Mahomes and give yourself a shot at greatness, or you leave him exposed and you invite disaster. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about keeping Mahomes upright on Sundays. This is about safeguarding the future of the Kansas City Chiefs. This franchise is staring down a golden window of opportunity, a window that could lead to multiple championships if handled correctly. But that window won't stay open forever. Mahomes is in his prime, yes, but even prime years come with an expiration date. That's why the Chiefs must capitalize right now. Every decision, every roster move, every draft pick, and free agent signing has to revolve around one thing: building a championship caliber team around 15, not just for this year, but for the next 5, 6, even 10 seasons. That's the level of vision we're talking about, and the front office gets it. That's why they've been aggressive in free agency, strategic in the draft, and laser-focused in camp. They're not just looking for temporary fixes. They're laying the groundwork for a dominant decade. But with all those moves in the books, the question still lingers, is it enough? We've seen Kansas City accomplish the incredible, but the biggest vulnerability, the one piece that still raises concern, remains the offensive line. Because here's the hard truth. No matter how legendary Mahomes is, no matter how electric the offense looks on paper, if the line doesn't hold, it could all come crashing down. That's why this next stretch is critical. The offensive line has to step up. Not next month, not mid-season, right now. No more hypotheticals, no more potential, no more waiting. They've got to perform. Or this team risks underachieving. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying the Chiefs are in trouble, but there's a lot riding on how well this O-line holds up. If they can pull it together, if they can click, develop chemistry, and play with grit and discipline, this offense becomes completely unstoppable. You can bet everything on that, but if they fall short again, it's going to be a long, frustrating season. Right now, the ball is in the players' court. The front office has done its part. The coaching staff has drawn up the plan. Now it's up to the men in the trenches. The question is, will they rise to the occasion? Because make no mistake, This is about to be one of the most intense training camps in recent Chiefs history. Jobs are on the line, reputations are on the line, championship hopes are on the line. Every rep matters, every drill is a test, every moment is a proving ground, and we'll be watching it all unfold. Every snap, every battle, every breakthrough, because when the dust settles, we'll know if this group has what it takes to protect Mahomes and lead this team back to the promised land. And if they get it right, they'll be one step closer to another Super Bowl ring. Now it's your turn. Sound off in the comments. Do you believe the Chiefs can protect Mahomes this year? Drop a W if you think this line is ready to dominate, or an L if you're still skeptical. Let us know your thoughts. Hit that like button if you believe in the bounce back. Subscribe to stay locked in, because this season is make or break, and you don't want to miss a single second. Just when you thought the Kansas City Chiefs offseason couldn't get any more intriguing, a string of quiet but game-changing decisions is setting the stage for something far bigger than anyone anticipated. This isn't just about shuffling backups or tinkering with draft boards. This is about strategic foresight, a masterclass in continuity, succession planning, and long-term dominance, all subtly executed under the guise of business as usual. But before we break it all down, do your part. Hit that like button. Drop a comment. Has Brett Veach earned your trust this offseason? Let's talk about it. Now, if you zoom in, you'll notice how each calculated move, from Mahomes to Minshew to Kelsey to the upcoming draft, is part of a larger orchestration. This is about keeping the Chiefs at the top of the mountain, not just for this season, but for the next era. Sure, the headline says Gardner Minshew is replacing Carson Wentz as Mahomes' backup, but anyone truly paying attention knows this is about more than clipboard duty. Minshew brings real starting experience, grit, and swagger, the kind that doesn't just compliment Mahomes, but challenges him in the best way. He's fiery, he's fearless, and for the first time in a while, the Chiefs QB room isn't just about mentorship, it's about mutual elevation. I thought we were going to have a really good quarterback group overall, Mahomes said in a recent interview, and that's saying something. When your superstar is excited, Chiefs Kingdom should be paying very close attention. Minshew isn't here to just blend in, he's here to compete, elevate, and bring energy, something Andy Reid values deeply. He's a good football player, Reid noted. It should be a good working relationship. He loves the game. Pat does too. It's a natural fit. That's not lip service. That's a blueprint. A plan to reinvigorate the locker room, push the offense, and create a dynamic where even Mahomes feels the edge of competition. And Minshew, he's locked in. I'm super fired up to be part of a winning culture. I'll do whatever it takes to help this team win. But while one quarterback settles in, another storyline is quietly gaining momentum, one that could redefine the future of Kansas City's offense. The Travis Kelce succession plan. Kelce is back for 2025. That's confirmed, but the Chiefs, true to form, aren't waiting until it's too late. They're already scouting his heir apparent. This isn't panic, it's preparation, it's legacy building. Analyst Mel Kiper Jr. has even speculated that Kansas City could use pick No. 31 on LSU's Mason Taylor, a tight end with rare production, elite size, 6'5", 251 Ls, and athleticism that echoes Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. Taylor's 100 receptions and 10+ yards in an LSU uniform aren't just impressive, they're historic. He's not just Kelce's shadow, he's a future headline. Meanwhile, Kelce reflects on his own journey through his podcast, New Heights. The rookie years, the injuries, the learning curve, and you can hear it in his voice. He knows the clock is ticking. And Andy Reid, he's not waiting for the buzzer. He's preparing now. Which brings us to the final piece of the Chiefs' offseason strategy, the NFL Draft. With the No. 31 pick in hand and a treasure chest of draft capital, including picks in rounds 2, 3, 4, and 3 selections in round 7, GM Brett Veach is in prime position to make serious moves, and if history is any guide, see you next video.